Stand by. The program will begin soon.
There's an example yesterday I saw of this woman who's been here. I mean, we might even play this clip. She's been here 20 years. She has 3 kids who were born here. Her kids are because of birthright citizenship, which is another subject that's coming up. And she's never bothered to even try to resolve her immigration status. Not in 20 years. She has never tried to resolve her immigration status. Not through Republican presidents, not through Democratic presidents, nothing. And so now, she's worried about being deported because they put out the sob story of this woman. Well, that's not the average person they're even looking at right now. The average person they're looking at crossed in the last 3 years are CNN is cutting jobs to embrace the digital future. No, they're cutting jobs because, as I like to say, they suck. CNN is undergoing a significant restructuring, planning to lay off about 200 employees, which constitutes approximately 6% of its workforce. This move is part of a broader strategy under CEO Mark Thompson to pivot towards a digital-first approach, focusing on expanding digital subscriptions and reducing costs from traditional TV operations. Wait a minute. Didn't they already try the CNN subscription service, which failed miserably? Which, if you truly have compassion for trans kids, you would allow them to all go through puberty, because 90% of kids who think they're trans change their mind once they go through puberty. That puberty is the fix for most of the problems. But you guys want the medicalization of kids and sterilization of kids and medical and surgical altering of kids who can't make that decision at 12 years old or 13 years old. Diablo asks, why is it when I try to show empathy and concern, people always misconstrue it? Last time I asked someone if their mom at least got a good check from the clinic that botched the abortion. Oh! Oh, God. Damn it, AD. I think you just need to find a gentleman.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
I would be willing to bet everything I own that submitting a 22-minute video montage that shows the most egregious acts of violence you can find from that day, when the defendant in question is on that video for only 6 seconds and the scene walking calmly, is highly prejudicial and a violation of the defendant's due process rights. The person was found guilty and sentenced to 19 months in prison. Now, it took 2 hours to read through all of the documents that were in the case file. Every motion submitted by the defendant was denied. Every motion by the defendant was denied. How often does that happen? And every motion submitted by the government was granted. They turned a trespass misdemeanor that would have resulted in a $50 ticket into 5 misdemeanors and a felony charge by charging the defendant with a statute that would have required the Secret Service to rope off the section he was in, which they did not. They also charged him with a statute that would have been required them to prove Mike Pence was in the building at the time he walked through that corridor. He was not. And finally, they used an Enron statute that the Supreme Court struck down. If you accept a pardon, you are admitting guilt. Period. That's the, because you can't be pardoned if you're not guilty.
Whether he can preemptive whether he can issue President's reportedly asking his staff whether he can issue preemptive pardons for himself, his family members, Rudy Giuliani. There's a simple answer: no. No, Mr.
Oh,
that
you
would
can't?
Be a gross abuse
Oh,
of the presidential
it's a
pardon authority.
gross abuse of presidential pardon authority. Well, there you go. You accepted a pardon, Adam Kinzinger. You think you may have committed a crime. Oh, here, Jamie Raskin. Dirty Q-tip. Dirty Q-tip, Jamie Raskin. What else? What did he have to say?
Well, the seeking of pardons is
Yes, it's only on
powerful
one side.
demonstration of the consciousness of guilt, or at least the consciousness that you may be in trouble.
Jamie
And that's
Raskin.
what's so shocking
Did he get a
about
pardon
this.
also? Wasn't he on
Well,
that committee?
The seeking of pardons is
He was on that committee. I'm curious if you're going to condemn that part. Are you going to condemn that pardon?
Joe Biden pardoned a lot of people. Yeah, he should answer for that and explain.
Lots of murderers, lots of drug dealers, lots of people who killed people, commuted the sentence of a couple murderers. One who, in fact, one drug dealer who people died from taking the drugs that they sold them.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
The Obama Aniston rumors have gone wild. Rumors have emerged on social media that suggest Barack and Michelle Obama might be heading towards divorce, with speculators linking Barack Obama to actress Jennifer Aniston. Those rumors have gained traction following Michelle Obama's absence from Jimmy Carter's funeral and the inauguration, and are based on tabloid stories and social media speculation without solid confirmation from the individuals involved. So far, they're still rumors, and I don't know why people are perpetuating them, but it is kind of fun to perpetuate rumors like that. No one's come out to, out and out deny anything. That's the weird part.
We should just take a deep breath and acknowledge the audacity.
The audacity!
Of a president who's so clearly concerned about his own criminal culpability.
Oh my God, his own criminal culpability and his son's business dealings. I know that they're talking about Joe Biden, aren't they?
And that of his family members.
Like the boy asked, are cats really soul suckers? Yes. Yes. That's why I'm not into cats. Dogs, man. I'm a dog guy. Avocado Diablo, is there an aisle in the grocery store that is less objectionable to have sex in? Where do you come up with this shit? Dude.
Has done something no person in the world has ever done before. A dead man, a dead politician has risen.
Yes.
Somebody who 4 years ago at Davos, he's buried, a dead.
And I wonder how many people at Davos have been funding Donald Trump's demise that has failed. I wonder how many people at Davos, again, let me say it again. I wonder how many people at Davos have been funding what they had hoped would be Trump's demise. I bet you there's a few of them there. And it didn't work, did it now? Didn't work now, did it?
Politically known to me. He's now returned. This is the greatest comeback in political history of a politician. And then, therefore, he thinks he can do anything.
At the end of the show, every day on my show, if I put something on the screen or I'm talking about it or it's a topic or an article that I'm presenting in this show, I provide links to every single thing that I've talked about, and even more, the ones I didn't even get to. I drop them in the chat at the end of the show, and also I drop them in the description. So if you want to find these articles, they will be in the links at the end of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Night.
Oh, hell yeah. If you believe in life after love. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. Don't know why I'm singing Cher songs. I'm not that gay. Welcome to the show. I'm Marty, also known as P-Dog Night on the internet. Welcome back to the P-Dog Night channel on this hump day, the 12th of March, 2025. Which reminds me, I got to pay my internet bill today. I almost forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me, calendar. Why is that off there? Why is the Greenland thing off? What happened there? That didn't make any sense. What the hell? Hang on a second. What's going on with this thumbnail? Oh, that's weird. It should be over. Oh, it shrunk. What the hell happened there? Maybe. Oh, I see what it did. Okay, there we go. Is that in there? Is that right now? It looks good. And it's messed up here too. What the hell? Okay. Hi. So how y'all doing? It's hump day. Everyone's favorite day. Hope you get your hump on today. And I am just, we got some breaking news this morning about something that I was completely ambivalent towards. And then who was it that sent me this? Someone sent me something about Greenland. Happenings in Greenland this morning. Looks like locals is down too. Something's wrong with locals. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, and so this is the main topic of the day, and I'm going to get to it early and often. And then we got a whole ton of stuff in the works. Yeah, locals I think might be. I wonder if locals is getting a DD. Is it DDoS or something attack? Because everything else is working just fine. So anyway, hi. Share the show if you haven't done so already. Some of you have already done that. I appreciate that greatly. And we've got, like I said, I got a big lineup today. So let's say hi to everybody and get this shit on the road, okay? First to chat today, of course, is Mr. Avocados Diabli, who gets the bell. Also, I have time to do my normal thing. Good morning to my favorite Canadian Jaeger pony. What's up? JB's in the house. Renee Mayette. Woot. Kara Soldier's here. Good morning also to... Oh, well, I gotta scroll down. Let's see. Anonymity. T2, I'll be back. How you doing? Molly Meggs. What's up? Nice to have you back. Good morning also to Lord Stanhope. Francis Barrett. Welcome back. Oh, man. All the people... All the what do you call it? All the part-timers are here today. I love it. I love to see you. Also, Tyre Alexander, the Scourge is here. Good morning. Hello to Johnny Boomer Text doing his thing. Reaction Puerto Rico is here. Aaron Meredith, what's up? My other favorite Canadian, Unacceptable Views. Good morning. Attack Alpaca's in the house. And that's and Jethro Hetero making a double shot 2 days in a row. Or is it 3? It might be 3 days in a row. Nice to have you here on the more regular, my friend. 21 people in the chat. So 21 people in the chat, or viewers, right? But only 10 likes or 13 likes. It just went up. Keep doing that. Keep hitting the like thing. That would be fan-freaking-tastic. Why did the numbers drop? There's more people than started. Anyway, thank you all for being here. And many of you are here every day or nearly every day. And it's why I keep doing this, you know. By the way, and just a reminder, a week from this coming Monday, not this Monday, but the following Monday, it will be my 1500th episode. I'm trying to think of what to do about that, though, or do for that. Or do I do a special show Friday on $14.99? You know, do like a Prince thing, and tonight we're going to party like it's $14.99. Yeah, that's really weak. Anyway, but yeah, 1500 episodes. I'm pretty excited for that. So and by the way, I'd like you to send me videos or memes for that day, and we'll do that thing. Yeah, thank you, Reaction Puerto Rico. Hit the thumbs up, share the stream. what's the check mark for? I'm not sure what that is. And make sure you have, and do your bell thing. You got to hit the bell to make sure you get notifications. Or you can follow me on Locals, except for today, Locals has failed me. Locals is dead. I don't know what's going on. They're probably getting a DDoS attack, something like that. Open lines. Oh, that might be a good one. That's good point. Reaction on Puerto Rico. I should do just a call-in show and maybe have it go extra long and something like that. We'll figure it out. That's a good idea because I haven't done that in a very long time. So maybe that might be it. That might be the thing to do. All right, let's get into some things and so we can get the show going. First, thank you for people sharing the show. Oh, I see it there. Reaction on Puerto Rico. I didn't use that one on purpose. But for those of you who've shared, are we frozen? No, we're good. Thanks for those who've shared the show. Mike Savage with the Let Us Go. If you haven't did a Let's Go on the thing up there at the top of the chat, do that. And also thanks for retweeting the show, as well as who's this? Man Squatch and Swamp Fox Ghost and Reaction on Puerto Rico shared the show. Why? Oh my gosh. This I suppose this is a Let's Go. Why are you gay? Also, those were likes. These are the retweets. Man Squatch, Swamp Fox Ghost, Ty Alexander, Amazing Disgrace, and Reaction on Puerto Rico. Also, thank you, Ty Alexander with the requisite Ric Flair. Let's go. Woo! And Reaction Puerto Rico. Painting the whole upper North America red, white, and blue in this GIF, whatever. And that's in honor of what's happening in Greenland today. Or, well, yesterday. This morning we got the news. And also, thank you, Amazing Disgrace. We got Let's Go, the old... what is that? What's that show? What's that from? I can't remember what this is called. This movie that with Mel Gibson and they go attack people. Anyway, Eagles in the house. What's up? And then also JB with a little bit of a scary Let's Go there. I'm not sure. By the way, isn't it Gary Oldman's birthday today? It might be. Oh, no. I saw a thing this morning when I was at work, because sometimes I watch short videos when I'm at work too, and there was a picture of Gary Oldman when he was like in his late teens, and I guess I didn't realize he was in movies when he was that young, but he looks very different today because he's old, but he also looks different. All right, and thank you also, Amazing Disgrace, and okay. Oh, what is this from? Oh, oh, that's right. Yes. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. So, we'll get to this. Hang on. So, well, first of all, we've got our first sponsor today, Avocados Diablo, which makes you, obviously, you are the new Streamlab Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, sir. Get a bell and a cha-ching and Avocados Diablo says on the prioritized chat through Streamlabs, which links are in the priority chat links here. I'm going to change the pin link there. If you got to get my attention. Green often does. Travel around and see the tundra. Dig for dinner in the cold, damp sand. Travel around and see the tundra. See how it feels to be Shaft in Greenland. Okay, so AD, what music would I put that to? It sounds like you're writing a song, but thank you very much for sponsoring the show. Yeah, Greenland is in the news. We'll get to it in a minute. Thank you very much. Appreciate you sponsoring the show as often as you do. It's a great honor that you do that. And now my mouse isn't working. What the hell? Is it? Well, it's working there. Why is it working here? Okay, well, it won't let me clear that one. Oh well, I know it's done. Okay, now. As I mentioned, it is hump day, and often you have to be careful scrolling on hump day. So I've decided in the future, or today, I started this a couple weeks ago, where I'm just going to pick out some of my favorite hump day memes and or celebrations. Shaft in Greenland. shaft in Greenland. I'm not sure what that means though. Is this me just being dense, which is not uncommon? Well, anyway, let's talk about Hump Day and get this out of the way. So this one, now this is a little racy, but it's at least there's now body parts. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Yeah, that's one for AD. Let's move to the next one, and then this one. Now this one cracked me up. You know that there's a congresswoman that we were always wondering. What's this Rolling Stone guy's name? Is this Ron Wyman? Is that his name? Or what the hell's it? What the hell's he's the bass player, right? Anyway, yeah, now we know where that congresswoman came from. He transitioned. He's in Congress now. Hello, Resolute Germ. What's up? So yeah, I thought that was funny. Sorry, Ronnie, but it's the same picture. Okay. And then parts. Yeah, parts. Yeah, we don't need parts. And then this one, I thought this was a good one. Good Hump Day one. Wife asks, why did you have 2 Bloody Marys for breakfast? And the answer is because eggs are so expensive. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's the one who knows. No, it's not Hugh Janus. Come on, man. And then this one. Oh, this one's actually kind of funny. I gotta start it from the beginning though, and we're gonna go full screen just to get the glory of this one. This was a great Hump Day post. And wait, hang on a second. It says, "Good morning, folks. Happy Hump Day. Nobody said being a dad was easy. My bad." Okay, now let's just watch this, and you'll get the understanding of why. I always thought that was the dude from Best British Baking Show. Oh, it could be. I don't know. All right, here we go. Here it is. 1. Make sure you catch him, Dad. Oh, damn! But that's just funny. So, you know, the kid's like, oh, shit. Good thing Mom got him. Good thing Mom was back there. That kid would have landed on this little hard part of the bat. Have you ever been to one of these trampoline places? Like, you got the trampolines in between, and they got the padding here, but the padding here is not all that comfortable if you hit those middle parts. Anyway, so there you go. There you go. There's a little entertainment for the morning. And then, do I have one more? Oh, no, I don't. So today's celebrity birthday. Some of you will appreciate this. And all I'm going to say, it's a very smart choice for today's celebrity birthday. None other than Barbara Feldon from the Get Smart series back in the 60s. Agent 99, happy birthday. And I think she's, what do they say? She's 90 years old today. I didn't know she was still alive, but yeah, when I was a kid, I used to watch Get Smart reruns all the time. I thought it was a funny show. But the thing is, I need to go back and watch that show and see how much of the humor is actually risque. Because when I was a kid, I thought it was funny just because he was kind of, he was this goofy spy, and it was a spoof basically on the 007 stuff. But I'm just curious if any of that comedy was risque or not. I don't know, because when you're a kid, you don't know when things are risque. I was too young. I just thought it was funny because he talked into his shoe, and they had the silence booth and all that stuff. It was kind of funny show. Missed it by that much. So I wonder how much I missed it by. All right, next. So that's a celebrity birthday day. Happy birthday, Barbara Feldon. All right, so the big news today, and I'm going to start out with it. Oh, are we doing funny names now? Wilma Dickfit. No, she did not play Wilma Dickfit. She played Agent 99. Does anyone know what Agent 99's actual name was, though? Like, did they ever divulge Agent 99's name other than calling her 99? I'm just curious. Okay, so the big news, breaking news today, is Greenland election results. Greenland, which they called about an hour ago, 4:30 a.m. our time. They're worth paying attention to. Democratic wins big, the center-right realist pro-independence party. This was not at all the expected result. This is huge. So now I want to show you how the AP does it. Or here's someone else on Axiom News, another right-wing person, pro-U.S. Trump political party won Greenland's election last night. The people of Greenland want to end European colonial rule and build a future with America. Now, I don't know necessarily if they want to build a future with America, but certainly a relationship with the United States. They don't want to become a colony, I don't think. But here's how the AP wrote their headline at first. But now when you go to the link, it says something different. And I've always fascinated how headlines change during the day with certain news outlets. But here is their first headline. Center-right party wins most votes in Greenland's parliamentary election as Trump seeks control. Okay, that was the headline they started with, but they've changed it since then. Here's what it says now. Greenland's election winners push back against Trump wish to take control of the island. Now that's kind of a completely different headline, but let's read the story real quick. Denmark calling mulligan. Are they? Well, we'll see. We'll see if they do. If the people of Greenland say, hey, fuck you. Anyway, quote, this is the beginning in Nuuk, Greenland. Is that where the word Nook comes from? You know, those, like when the kids had the toddlers or whatever, they have the teething thing, or not the teething thing, the what do you call it? Pacifiers? They call them a Nook. Is Greenland a pacifier? Anyway, a party that favors a gradual path to Greenland's independence. I wonder how many times they rewrote that sentence. From Denmark, won a surprise victory in parliamentary elections held in the shadow of U.S. President Donald Trump's stated goal of taking control of the island one way or another. The center-right Democratic Party has pushed back against Trump's rhetoric, saying it is for Greenland to decide the future of the strategically important territory, which holds large reserves of rare earth minerals needed to make everything from mobile phones to renewable energy technology. The Arctic island is also home to a U.S. air base and straddles a strategic air and sea routes in the North Atlantic. Okay, not a bad start. Do I mean whiskey? I don't know. I was my baby pacifier. Well, yes, okay, I got you. Okay. Anyway, so then the subheadline here, moving towards independence from Denmark. A break from Denmark wasn't on the ballot, but it was on everyone's mind. Greenland was colonized 300 years ago by Denmark, which still exercises control over foreign and defense policy. The island of 56,000 people. There's only 56,000 people on Greenland. But you know what? Look, when the globe was warmer, Greenland was actually green, and they've found a lot of archaeological evidence that there were people living on Greenland far longer ago than that everyone ever thought of. Hello, K-Shaw. What's up? Good morning. So anyway, the island of 56,000 people has been on a path towards independence since at least 2009, as the 31 lawmakers elected will shape the island's future as it debates whether the time has come to declare independence. 4 of the 5 major parties in the race sought independence, but disagreed on when and how. Second place finisher, Nalarok, is the most aggressively pro-independence, while Democratic favors a more moderate pace of change. Quote, wait, I don't want to see that. Get that shit out of my way. What approach to independence will win the day will ultimately depend on if Democratic decides to form a coalition government, and if so, with which party, said Dwayne Menezes, managing director of the Polar Research and Policy Initiative. So anyway, Democratic won nearly 30% of the vote compared to just 9% in the election 4 years ago. Greenlandic Broadcasting Corporation, KNR-TV, reported, while Nalarok came in second with almost 25%, up nearly 12% in 2021. Democratic's upset victory, I don't know why I keep saying that way, upset victory over parties that have governed the territory for years indicated many in Greenland care just as much about social policies such as healthcare and education as they do about geopolitics. Does it suggest that? I don't know. Nielsen, 33, appeared to be surprised by his party gains, with photos showing him sporting a huge grin and applauding at the election party. He said that Greenland needs to stand together in a time of great interest from outside. KNR TV reported. Danish broadcaster DR reported that Nielsen said his party would reach out to all other parties to negotiate the future political course for Greenland. So, now the reaction to Denmark. We're going to just go through this whole thing because this is interesting. The Polar Research, last I checked, there is no pole in Greenland. But there's a lot of exhibitions that start from there. I guess that's what they're trying to say. So anyway, Denmark's reaction, Danish Defense Minister Tres Lund Poulsen congratulated the Democratic Party and said the future Greenland government would likely have to deal with massive pressure from the U.S. President Donald Trump, according to whatever DR is. He added that it's not the case that you can just take part of the Danish realm. The future of Greenland is based on what the Greenlandic people and government want. Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen, meanwhile, called the election a joyful day and celebration of democracy. In a statement Wednesday, she congratulated Democratic and said that the Danish government would await the result of the coalition negotiations. So I'm curious, if Greenland decides that they want to be independent, is Denmark going to fight him? What do y'all think? I don't know. So anyway, and then there's a little more there, but whatever. So I'm fascinated. That's, but definitely a more America-friendly Greenland has been elected. But I didn't realize there's only 56,000 people in that giant piece of land. I mean, it's amazing how huge it is. Why are we emphasizing democratic like that? It's really annoying. Oh, because it's how it's spelled. Eagle. They spell it DEMOKRAATIT. It's not democratic. It's democratic. Or not even it's democratic. If that's the name of the party, Democratic. That's what I'm saying, Democratic. Okay, get it now? Okay, there you go. So anyway, I don't know what that means. I don't think it means necessarily that the United States is going to take over Greenland, blah, blah, blah. But it's fascinating. This party that hasn't garnered more than 12% of the vote in the past, all of a sudden gets 30% of the vote. And the other party that is also pro-independence gets 25% of the vote. Now, it's weird because there's only 56,000 people, and they have a parliament of, how many people are in their parliament? 36 or something like that? I mean, it's not a huge governing body, but they have a huge, giant piece of land, and strategically, it's a very important country. So 31 lawmakers. Yeah, 31. They have 31 lawmakers, and then they pull a prime minister out of that. It's a parliamentary style government. So that's fascinating to me. So, all right, we're going to move on. But first, thank you, Avocados Diabli. Graciously appreciate it. Another small bullet in the tip jar. Please take AD's cues, and you are still the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Enunciate. Avocados Diabli says, it is not the case that we could take a piece of the Danish realm. Our C team could do it in an afternoon were we so inclined. True. If the worst came to worst, we certainly, could we could force ourselves upon Greenland. But no, we just want to make a deal for some minerals and shit. I don't know. All right, let me check this. There's more notifications going. Why is Locals is messed up? Let me see something real quick. Check the notifications. All right. Thanks, K-Shawl, for retweeting the show. And then Man Squatch was the other one. Okay, so there we go. Thank you, guys. All right, so that's all about Greenland. Other news, core CPI is out, and boy, oh boy, you would think I would suspect that the Krasensteins would be really excited today. Apparently, inflation is down, came in lower than expected. Now, someone says, Let's see. Apologies for interrupting the joy, but kindly note that the better than expected core CPI of 3.1 is still 55% over the Fed's target, predates all of Trump's massive tariffs. I now return you to the new bull market. Anyway, breaking February CPI falls to 2.8%. Below expectations of 2.9%, core CPI inflation falls to 3.1%, below expectations of 3.2%. This marks the first decline in both headline and core CPI since July 2024. Inflation is cooling down in the U.S., which, of course, I'm not going to, this Debbie Downer up here, who I read first, certainly could be affected by tariffs. It would not surprise me if we saw that change a little bit. We'll see what happens. I don't necessarily know the true results of what the tariff war is going to be. I'm curious how some countries can sustain it against that, since we buy more shit from everybody else than they buy from us. But we'll see what happens with that. But this should be good news for markets and whatnot, both slightly lower than expected, and they went lower. That's even the better part. Let's see, CPI reads actual month-to-month 0.2%, expected 0.3%, previous 0.4%. So that's less. It's less, and people should be celebrating that, right? I'm just looking for all the Debbie Downers here. Imagine how having Trump derangement syndrome and Musk derangement syndrome so bad that you're upset with core CPI being 2.8% in February. Look, I would love it being down below 2 or even less. It could be less. I wouldn't mind having slight deflation, but then, that's not always good either. So that is good news, and it should be good news. And people are saying 2.8% in February. This guy, egg prices down, inflation coming down, border crossings at an all-time low. If you aren't enjoying this, you are clearly anti-American. Okay. Also, let's see, the Labor Department reports inflation rate was 2.8%. So yeah, lots of that is good news. So don't enjoy it while we can, and hopefully it will continue in that trend. Also happening over in Europa, the EU or whatever, by the way, thank you, Reaction on Puerto Rico, for sending me this. The CPI target goal is not a hard number. It's an average. That's the Fed's weasel way of doing business. Yeah, true. That is true. Reaction on Puerto Rico sent me this. Over in France, apparently, Emmanuel Macron is hosting the chiefs of staff of 34 allied nations. Notable presence: the UK, South Africa, Australia, Canada, and Turkey. That was a terrible gobble. And the U.S. was not invited. So some people are like, oh, well, they're all getting together and the U.S. not invited because they don't. Well, okay, let me stop for a second, because I think Reaction on Puerto Rico had maybe one of the best responses to this, which is right here. When the star player leaves the team and now the rest of the players that he's been carrying the whole season try to figure out what to do, that's what's happening, and this is not the flex you think it is, because she put this up here like it was a flex. No, there's, look, or if let's say the star player just decided to take a year or so off because he had a little gambling issue, and the NBA decided, well, and he just decided to take some time. I don't know what that is. That's I don't know if you got the analogy there, but anyway, so great. That's kind of what Trump wanted y'all to do. Remember back in the first time he was president, he wanted you guys to get together and start determining how you can also be more involved in your own security. And that was kind of the agreement with NATO, that we all were going to be involved in the security of the Northern Hemisphere and beyond, and shipping lanes and everything. And then 75% of the burden came upon us with our 300 million people versus your 450 million people. And it's just like, hey, guess what? Time for y'all to step up. Now, as I look at some of the reactions to just this post, though, for example, I scrolled down to this one who says, total humiliation for Europe. They have not once in 3 years tried to make peace, yet Trump did so immediately and has just secured a ceasefire. Europe's response is to try in vain to continue it. Let's remember, both world wars were started by the Europeans, and they are trying for a third. Ew, that's kind of nasty. Someone here says the funny thing is you could take every one of those countries and add up every main battle tank, every combat soldier, every fighter plane, and they wouldn't act up to a fraction of what the U.S. has. These are generally not people to be taken seriously. So, but as some of the negative, the USA in any case started this isolation of themselves. Their priorities are different. They're focused on selling Teslas from the White House. And I'll get to what that means. But look, how are we going to get to peace if they want to continue the war? That's when Macron said that they would be willing to put boots on the ground, that's when I really began to get nervous about this. And I think we'll see. We'll see what happens. And of course, it doesn't help that Ukraine just did a giant drone attack on Moscow before they said, "Oh yeah, now we'll do a ceasefire. Here, we're gonna fuck you up a little bit, and then we're gonna call a ceasefire." It's like, wow, are you gonna? Are you just trying to get more bombs flying? It's just a crazy thing. All right, Social Security is trending, and part of it is Mike Johnson talking about this continuing resolution, which I'm learning more about. Is this thing freezing up every once in a while? Out of curiosity, I just noticed that it did it again. We'll see what's happening. I can't. Something's wrong with Streamlabs, so just be aware. So this continuing resolution, which I'm skeptical about, and Thomas Massey voted against. Well, it got voted through in the House yesterday, and Democrats are out there screaming bloody murder, saying that there's going to be cuts to Medicare, cuts to Social Security, cuts to Medicaid, cuts to veterans benefits. They're doing all this stuff, right? Well, Speaker Mike Johnson came out yesterday and said, Democrats. Well, here I'll just play the clip. I'll let him say it instead of it be written here.
They either have an issue with reading comprehension, or they are attempting to run one of the most shameful misinformation campaigns that we've ever seen in our lives. We filed that the CR, the continuing resolution, on Saturday, and as was noted, they had already come out panning the bill that literally had not yet been seen. They said, quote, this is the House Democrat leadership team's statement on Friday. Remember, the bill was filed on Saturday afternoon. On Friday, they said, quote, Republicans have decided to introduce a partisan continuing resolution that threatens to cut funding for health care, nutritional assistance, and veterans benefits through the end of the year. Every single word of that is a lie. They just made it up. They didn't read the bill. It's nonsense. People are not buying this. And you see the contrast between one party, which is leading, moving the ball forward for the American people, and the other that is just screaming. Then the Democrats start parroting this talking point in interviews all weekend on CNN. They said, quote, it's so harmful to the American people. You know, cutting Medicaid, cutting Medicare, threatening Social Security, cutting veteran benefits. It's all a lie. You can all read the bills, 99 pages. This clean CR contains no poison pill riders, no policy riders there at all. No cuts to Medicare, Medicaid, or Social Security, zero. No cuts to veterans benefits, zero. In fact, as was noted, we plus up the accounts for veterans. And respectfully, I'm just going to say this to every reporter in the room, that if you're allowing Democrats to make these intentionally false, scurrilous claims without pushback, then you're aiding and abetting the spreading this misinformation. I would just ask you to call them on it. The American people deserve that. They deserve that clarity from our press corps. Make them point it out to you. They can't, of course.
Okay, so I let the whole thing play because, as you know, I was under the impression that there was big Medicaid cuts coming in this continuing resolution. I was under the impression that, now, here's my problem. and one of the reasons that Thomas Massie probably voted against it, because there are no spending cuts basically in this. But one thing that they didn't do in this continuing resolution that it's been a long time since I've seen this. They've removed any earmarks. There's no extra bullshit spending that just all of a sudden someone slips some bullshit in there. It's only 99 pages long. They could read the whole damn thing. So, now, someone down here says Biden administration.
They either have an issue with reading comprehension.
Pause that. Biden administration. Entitlement programs contain $520 billion in waste and fraud. This is what the Biden administration is saying. So the Elon Musk, or whatever the administration he's speaking on behalf, well, we must cut the $500 billion in waste and fraud from entitlement programs. Fake news, says Elon Musk is cutting your grandmother's Social Security and Medicare. And this is why the fake news is the enemy of people. Here it is. And these are the kind of articles you're seeing from CNN. Big one to eliminate. Musk spotlights the cost of federal entitlements amid fear of cuts to programs. That's CNN headline. Bloomberg. Musk says entitlements, big ones to cut in Trump's Doge push. And then we got here's the report to the congressional committees. 2018 to 2022 data show the federal government lost an estimated $231 billion to $521 billion annually to fraud based on various risk environments. So that's what they're talking about. So if there's $233 billion to $521 billion annually in fraud, maybe we should cut the fraud out, right? So anyway, bureaucrats are pushing fake narratives about Doge's fraud crackdown. Look at the numbers. $233 billion to $521 billion lost to federal fraud. That's Biden's own estimate. But instead of fixing the waste, they're spreading fear about Social Security. Because people who are getting Social Security or close to it are the ones who vote. For example, Chuck Schumer just posted that Elon is a liar, claiming that Social Security and Medicaid care have lots of waste, fraud, and abuse. Here's Chuck Schumer. Not that long ago. Here's Chuck Schumer on Social Security waste, fraud, and abuse.
About a third of all of the spending that's done in Medicare, Medicaid, I would imagine a lot of it's in the private sector as well, doesn't go to really good health care, goes to other things. And the real nub of this is, how do we wring that waste out, that fraud, abuse, duplication, without interfering?
This is Chuck Schumer.
With the good care
15
that we
years
want
ago.
Every person on Medicare, Medicaid,
He
and private
knows.
insurance to get. The average citizen knows this happens.
happens.
How many times when you look at your medical bill, you've undergone a minor procedure, and you see Dr. Smith, $4,000, and you sort of vaguely remember he just waved and poked his head in the door? If we're going to eliminate the waste, fraud, and abuse in Medicare, it does mean we're going to cut some of that out. And when I hear my friend Dave Camp say, you cannot cut money out of Medicare, well, we don't want to cut the good stuff that you point out, or prevent.
Who is this guy?
But if we're going to, if
Who is this guy?
What Senator Coburn says, that 1/3 of Medicare doesn't go to patient care. You can't just get up there and say, we don't want to cut anything out of Medicare. We want to cut the bad stuff and keep the good stuff. And I think that's where we can find common ground on some of the things you...
Who does he sound like right now? He sounds just like Elon Musk. So here's what they're talking about, what Elon Musk was saying. They're saying, does this make sense to people? Okay, here's what you're saying.
Why are the 20 million people who are definitely dead marked as alive in the Social Security database? Why were hundreds of millions of dollars of Small Business Administration loans were given out to people aged 11 and under, according to the Social Security? I mean, like, these must be some very enterprising 8-year-olds,
And some pretty strong 150-year-olds.
Yes, exactly. As the president said, we have an enormous number of people marked as alive who are 160. He didn't know the country was that healthy. Why are the...
Now, I don't know about the age numbers, but here's what we do know. During COVID, remember when they said they were sending out COVID checks, people, right? And what we figured out, or what they figured out, is that when someone passes away, right? There's federal laws that say that the information that someone died must go to Social Security. So Social Security doesn't. Hello, Lewis, by the way. Must go to Social Security so that, you know, they get recorded as being dead. And I think it was Senator John Kennedy, not the foghorn leghorn John Kennedy, not the dead president from a long time ago. He went to the Social Security Administration and said, "Hey, so when someone tells you that someone's dead and you mark them as dead in the Social Security stuff, so that's not supposed to continue. Do you share this information with anybody?" And they're like, "Well, no, it's illegal to." "Well, you don't share it with Treasury?" "Well, no." So during COVID, there was the number is a crazy number, but there's these billions of dollars of checks that went out from the Treasury to people, who in theory were supposed to be getting those COVID relief checks, right? But they didn't have the database from the Social Security Administration that they were dead, so they sent out billions of dollars check to people who didn't exist. And then somehow, miraculously, many of those checks got cashed. Well, who the hell cashed those checks if they're dead? So they had a bill that they passed, a law that, Social Security, when they got their information that someone's dead, that they also had to share that information with Treasury, right? And that bill is about to expire. There's people in the legislature of the United States of America who do not want to renew that. Now, why? Why would you not want to renew that? I don't get it. So that's just weird. Anyway, so that's why Social Security is trending. I got to go faster because I got a lot to get through. So let's do this. Now here's some things that were trending yesterday that are still trending. People still bitching about Southwest Airlines and their new baggage fees and all that shit. They're just becoming like any other airline. The people who are fans of Southwest Airline are upset with Southwest. They are nickel and diming fuel to death. That's enough about that. Thomas Massey is still trending because he is the only person who voted. He's the only Republican who voted against the continuing resolution, and he does it on principle. Ron Paul made a comment about this. Here we go again. Remember back in 2000 when Congressman Thomas Massey heroically stood up against the $2 trillion COVID spending. Back then, President Trump called Massey a third-rate grandstander and a disaster for America, but Massey was correct. He was primaried for standing firm and was victorious in the election. The COVID spending that helped to usher in the inflation that we're still dealing with today, not to mention all of the fraud. Once again, Congressman Massey refuses to support reckless Republican spending and debt. And once again, President Trump seeks to primary Massey after comparing him to Liz Cheney. Now, if Congress was composed of hundreds of Thomas Masseys, we wouldn't be trying to claw our way out of the abyss right now. I hate to say it, but Ron Paul, well, I don't hate to say it. Ron Paul's exactly right. Because Thomas Massey, for whatever other votes he's had that we don't like, he's correct on this. But we'll see if this continuing resolution gets through the Senate and they fund the government until September, until we actually have separate spending bills. It's supposed to be 12 separate spending bills that fund the government, not one continuing resolution, not one omnibus, to see if we can actually get some budget sanity in the United States of America. So, Thomas Massey. Oh, he's got a 7-minute video on the continuing resolution. He's lost some weight. I didn't notice that. He's looking kind of, well, maybe it's because he put a beard on. He doesn't look as round as he normally does. Anyway, global warming, global terrorism, global pandemic, and global war are used to scare people into giving up liberty for global government and global corporations. That's why I like the man. That's why I like the man. I mean, for some things you don't like, there's plenty of things you do like. Worst song ever. Worst Who song ever. Magic Omnibus. Hoo-ha, Magic Omnibus. All right, other things that are trending still from yesterday. Oh, no, this isn't from yesterday. This is new. Let's do Muhammad Mahmoud Khalil is still trending. He's the student at Columbia University who was, I guess, is in ICE custody right now. People still talking about him. Here's something that I hadn't seen. Let's see. People protesting. Now, some people say, okay, this says the people protesting Mahmoud Khalil's arrest by ICE because his wife is pregnant said nothing when U.S. citizen Saugid Dekel Chen was taken hostage by Hamas terrorists while his wife is pregnant. Well, yeah, okay. It's two different issues. Okay. Let's keep it there. And obviously, we're concerned about the free speech issue of this, right? Okay. And I said, I don't know the details of Mahmoud Khalil's involvement with this. But when you're on a green card, you don't have as necessary. You can't advocate for certain things that may be terrorist activity. And here's a case where someone's putting Mahmoud Khalil stood in front of a crowd of thousands of people calling for them to celebrate Hamas terrorists who raped and slaughtered innocent civilians. The same Hamas terrorists who call for death to America. That's why he's being deported. Let's see what this is. I don't know. Is that actually him? Okay, well, he's saying Palestine will be free. Is he actually? I don't know. I don't know, but you can decide. Breaking. Oh my gosh. And breaking. NYU students, that he's at Columbia, but NYU students and professors leave class to flood Manhattan in support of violent Syrian national Mahmoud Khalil. Now, I don't know if he's violent or not, or if he actually is pro-Hamas or not. But now students from other schools in New York City are protesting. Here, a reporter asks Mike Johnson, what crime did Mahmoud Khalil commit? Well, let's see how he answers this.
Yeah.
In your estimation, what crime did Mahmoud Khalil commit to warrant his arrest, detention, and the potential revocation of his green card?
Let me tell you something. I went and faced down the angry mob at Columbia at the height of that stuff. When the pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas protesters were there. I'm telling you, this is my own observation, not something I read in a newspaper. It was dangerous. I met with Jewish students before we went to campus who were hauled away off campus because they were instructed by the administration not to come to class, which they paid for fear of their physical safety. The administrators there refused to take control of that campus. They refused to allow the PD to come, the police department to come in and take control, and it turned into a chaos. The president has since been removed, and now they got the same problem again. Columbia and other universities, they have to keep control of campus. The first responsibility of an administration is ensuring the safety of the students who are paying tuition to be there, for crying out loud. This madness has to stop. We have to get control of it. This guy apparently was a mastermind of those very things, when the gnashing of teeth and the ripping of clothes and the people screaming at me, wanting to rip me limb from limb because I was there talking about moral clarity and how there's a right and a wrong. They were doing that. They disrupted the campus. They were threatening physical violence to their fellow students. If you're on a student visa, I'm going to say this clearly. If you are on a student visa and you're in America and you're an aspiring young terrorist who wants to prey upon your Jewish classmates, you're going home. We're going to arrest your tail, and we're going to send you home where you belong.
Come on now, just say your ass. I mean, what's the Jasmine? What's her name? Jasmine Crockett ain't afraid to say ass or fuck or any of those other words. Come on, Mike Johnson, stop being such a stick in the mud.
Look, I appreciate free speech. I used to defend it in courts, but this is far beyond the pale of that. When you are threatening your classmates and spewing anti-Semitism and all this hatred.
Again, two different things there. And I hate people. I'm not a fan of anyone who's anti-Semitic. They can kiss my ass. But the threats, that's the crime. If they're anti-Semitic, well, that means they're an asshole. But if the threats is what the crime is, Let's keep it real, because if it was just them being anti-Semitic and, fuck them, but whatever. So that's Mike Johnson's view of it. Obviously, there's people who are still saying, here's another one. Video emerges of Mahmoud Khalil wearing a sweatshirt with a picture of someone in a cafe wearing the Hamas headband while chanting to cut the head off Zionists. Okay, so let's see. Now, I don't know if that's him or not. Now, this translation, let's see if it's on there. Okay. I'd say that's concerning. So there you go. Hamas is also trending because the same reason they're saying that he supports Hamas. So there's that. Moving on. Oh wait, by the way, good morning, Select Boy.
Yeah, boy.
And I said Lewis already. How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. We're here every day, Monday to Friday. You know that. 32 people, 23 likes. It's getting better. It's getting better. All right, let's talk about Alyssa Slotkin. Where is she from? I don't even know where she's from. What state is Alyssa Slotkin from? Is she a senator from Michigan? Yeah, she's from Michigan. She got elected over, what was the dude's name? John Jefferson, or the brother from Michigan that didn't win? Anyway, she's the one who did the Democratic response to Donald Trump's address the other night, last week or whatever. Okay, that's freezing. This is driving me crazy. Okay, apparently I'm not freezing in the video. It's just my studio here. Okay, so Alyssa Slotkin had some interesting way to talk about Trump voters and referring to all Trump voters. And let's just listen to this little clip from everyone's favorite show, The View.
Right. I think there's a feeling in the country. Yeah. I mean, I often say this, we're about to turn 250 years old, right? We're still pretty young for a country. These are our like our angry teenage years, right? We are going through this push and pull where we're happy, we're sad, we want this, we want that. And what do you do when you have a teenager who's threatening themselves and others? You just try to get them through this period alive so that their brain can fully form and you can come back to kind of what
Are
a
you
country.
talking about Trump?
No, I'm talking about our country. We're pendulum swinging. We're pendulum swinging. And so for me.
Okay. Now, some people are taking this as specifically insults to Trump voters or whatnot. And I mean, what she's saying is that, our country's so young that we don't know what we're doing and we just do this and that, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't every country around the world do that, though? And it's not like, look, 250 years of being a country doesn't, obviously, many countries around the world have copied a lot more stuff from us than we've copied from them, or at least made adjustments to what they do. But, obviously our government being only 250 years old, how many generations is that? 7, 8 generations? And we've done pretty well, just to say. And so, yeah, but politics always kind of trends to fight back and forth. And unfortunately, the more people figure out they can vote themselves money, the more liberal we get. Because, we think everyone else's money is ours. So anyway.
I don't think there's a single American who feels like this is normal.
Okay, so that's the clip that came from there. Let's look at this, how the Washington Free Beacon describe it, though. Alyssa Slotkin suggests Americans elected Trump because their brains haven't fully formed. Now, maybe they have a longer clip than this.
In my view,
let's watch the longer clip of this because I want to see exactly how this plays out and where the conversation came from.
Standing up for his constituents who depend on Medicaid and Medicare. Why are you and other Democrats, some people say you and other Democrats are playing it safe and quite frankly not meeting the moment, playing by the rules when it's clear that the Republicans have thrown out the rule book?
No, we haven't.
I think, look, I mean,
no, wait. Now that's a dumb fucking question, of course, from what's her name? Whatever the fuck her name is. I know what it is, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. That's a dumb fucking question. No. Republicans are playing by the rules. Republicans got elected and are exercising their power as the majority. This is what they don't seem to understand, okay? And probably because it hasn't happened in a long time. See, Democrats, since I was a very young child, which means Tyre, yes, since the Ice Age, have always had, for the most part, their hand on the switches. They've had the power. For 40 years, there wasn't even the Congress was controlled by Democrats. The House of Representatives was controlled by Democrats. Senate went back and forth, but for 40 years, it was controlled by Democrats. And then finally in like 92, I think it was the 92 election, it was in the midterms, 94, was the first time Republicans had control of the House in over 40 years. But Democrats still had the presidency. They still had some control. This is one of those rare times in modern U.S. history where the Republicans have the majority in both houses and has the presidency. It's a rare occurrence, a very, very rare occurrence. And Democrats have always been able to thwart things. And in fact, they still can in the Senate. If it's not a budget bill, they can still, filibuster, which is fine. I don't care. I mean, you should have more than just a simple majority to pass everything in this country, because a simple majority means the wolves are, voting against the sheep for dinner. But the Democrats are so used to having some kind of control over everything. And when they don't know how to deal with it. So her question, Sonny Hostin, moron, talking about, they're just throwing out the rules. Well, are they throwing out the rules, or are they using the rules in the way you would do it? For example, I look at the state of Minnesota where we have this, or California or Minnesota, whatever, where you have total Democratic control and they do whatever they want. But it's under the rules. Well, right now, the Republicans have that. And so it's not that they're thwarting the rules. It's just you don't have control anymore. What did mammoth taste like? Come on, Tyre. You know it tastes like chicken. Come on. Stop it. Hello, Shrapnel and Rick Ashbringer, by the way. So anyway.
Again, representing a state where people voted for Trump and voted for me, I have responsibility to represent my entire state. But I don't think there's anyone who feels like what's going on right now is normal, even if you voted for Trump, right? I think there's a feeling in the country. I mean, I always
that we're getting control of the executive branch.
We're about to turn 250 years old, right? We're still pretty young for a country. These are our like our angry teenage years, right? We are going through this push and pull where we're happy, we're sad, we want this, we want that. And what do you do when you have a teenager who's threatening themselves and others? You just try to get them through this period alive so that their brain can fully form and you can come back to kind of what the country about Trump.
But in some way she's talking about how, we just don't know what we're doing. We're just, my God, the swing in the political process is because, we're just this angry teenager and we're just being defiant. Or maybe it's because we're tired of the same old bullshit. That may be a better answer, Ms. Slotkin.
I'm talking about our country. We're pendulum swinging. We're pendulum swinging.
Oh, look at Joy. Joy's so happy with herself. Hi, TC. What's up?
For me, I think I don't think there's a single American who feels like this is normal. And therefore,
maybe you're right. It's not normal. But let me tell you a little secret, Alyssa. Here, let me get a close up here. Alyssa, let me tell you a little secret. Maybe it should be. Maybe we should be going through our federal government with a fine-tooth comb and finding all the bullshit that we spend money on. Maybe we should be constantly reassessing our role in the world and maybe not have to be the world police and spend all our money on being world police and instead get cooperation from other governments or getting other governments to step up and, take some responsibility for their own things. Maybe we shouldn't always accept every little trade deal that we have with countries when they can tariff us and we can't tariff them. Maybe we should be controlling our borders and maybe vetting people coming into our country better and getting rid of people who've broken our laws. You're right, because all those things were the norm. And this is not normal, right? But maybe it should be. You're absolutely right. I watch people on X all the time. Oh, is this what you voted for? Hey, Republicans, is this what you voted for? Yeah, yeah, it is. It is, and it may look a little sloppier than I expected it to work out, and obviously the media and everyone who's not going along with it because they're losing their little gravy trains that they get through indirect government funding. Yeah, I want that shit to stop. So yes, this is what I voted for. Is it pretty? No. But it is what I voted for. So there you go. And the fact that the executive branch is taking control of all this, this cascade of agencies that are below it. Yes, this is what I voted for. Get rid of some of the bullshit. Did I vote for getting rid of the Department of Education? I think that's a great idea. I think it's a great idea to get rid of this bureaucracy that hasn't improved education. In fact, I would say it's been a detriment to education. Get rid of the department. No more mandates from on high. Let the states work out their education departments they have in their own states. Maybe move some of the functions of student loans or whatever other things that the Department of Education does to other departments. Why is the Department of Education determining student loans? Maybe the Treasury should do that and maybe make more responsible decisions or go back to private funding of student loans. Look, the giant gravy train of student loans, by the way, going to... why do you think college is so expensive? Why do you think the price of going to college has tripled while everything else maybe has gone up, 80% over the last 30 years? Because there's so much easy money to get to college. You don't have to have any responsibility after you get and they've just made it. The colleges love it, the fact that they just get paid no matter what, and they can just they can just keep raise their prices. Well, that's because the money's been so easy, and now you got a school like Harvard with the huge endowments, and they're talking about forgiving student loans. Hey, forget about forgiving student loans. How about have some of these giant schools with billions and billions of dollars in endowments give their own former students relief from those student loans? Y'all aren't even supposed to be making a profit. You guys fucking. I'm frustrated with this. Government-backed loans has caused the price of college to skyrocket because they just give them to everybody. It's free, it's easy money, and they get it no matter what. It doesn't matter if the students fail. So you got all these students who are taking out these loans, and half of them, a bunch of them drop out. They're still stuck with the loans. Is that responsible of you as a school? Anyway.
Arm fire? I think what the president is doing to our economy, you all just talked about it this morning. I mean, people may not know the federal budget. They know their own home budget, and they know exactly how much they're spending. So I think
Bitch, that is 4 years in the making of what you're about to talk about. what the president's doing to the budget. The president's been in there 48 days, 50 days maybe. When you got 4 years of prices going up, and you're talking about what they know about our budget. Yeah, well, we do know as of today that inflation is slightly down. It's got to come down more, but whatever.
Whether it's the economy, whether it's our national security, right? Cutting people who keep us safe and then handing over places like Ukraine to a guy like Putin, or our democracy, right? Threats to how we are.
Our democracy voted for this. That's what she keeps saying. They keep saying, "Oh, our democracy, he's destroying our democracy." No, our democracy is working as advertised. You lost. Remember, you lost. Not you particular, Slotkin, because you're obviously in the Senate. But yes, our democracy, Representative Republic, is functioning just as it was supposed to. The winning team makes the decisions or have more power in making decisions than the losing team. The democracy is working just fine. But you can't seem to wrap your brain around it. That's the problem.
Who we are as a democracy, I think that we
are as a democracy. Again, the democracy is working just fine.
Absolutely in extraordinary times, and it requires an extraordinary response. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Y'all you cannot grasp the idea that the democracy is working as advertised. That's the problem. You still haven't wrapped your head around the fact that you aren't in charge anymore. And that's what's the hardest thing for you to grasp. So there you go. All right, let's move on. That took a lot longer than I expected, but I already did the main topic. Let's just get through, we'll do lightning round starting now. Ireland is trending. Why? Well, 2 reasons. One, Enoch Burke, a Christian teacher, has been jailed for standing up to radical trans policies in Ireland and is currently on his way to Washington, D.C. because the Trump administration has reportedly offered him asylum on the grounds of religious persecution. A massive fuck you to Ireland. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Who would have seen that coming? But there's a bigger reason that Ireland is trending. And when I say a bigger reason, I mean a much bigger reason. Rosie O'Donnell has chosen to self-deport herself to Ireland. Promises made, promises kept. Here's Rosie O'Donnell talking about her decision.
And I'm here in Ireland, and it's beautiful and warm. Not physically, it's actually quite cold.
Well, you're rich and you can afford to do whatever you want.
January 15th, and it's been pretty wonderful, I have to say.
Great.
The people are so loving and so kind, so welcoming.
Yeah.
And
great. Who cares?
I'm very grateful. I'm in the process of getting my Irish citizenship, as I have
fantastic
Irish grandparents, and
she'll be a dual citizen.
That's what's going on, and that's where I've been and what I've been doing. And although I was never someone who thought I would move to another country, that's what I decided would be the best for myself and my 12-year-old child. And
why? Are you going to trans your child?
Here we are. I miss my other kids. I miss...
Wait, you left your other kids?
My friends. I miss many things about life there at home. And I'm trying to find a home here in this beautiful country.
I'm sure she'll be okay.
And when, it is safe for all citizens to have equal rights there
oh my
in
God.
America, that's when we will consider coming back.
I have one thing to say to the Irish people regarding Rosie O'Donnell moving to Ireland. No takebacks. Sorry, you gotta keep her. The idea that she's not safe is, they bring up the safety bullshit. Fuck that. You're safe here as long as you stop being an asshole. Thank you, Reaction Puerto Rico, dropping a deuce in the tip jar by YouTube Super Chat saying, poor Irish. First the Brits, now this. Yeah, right? Good riddance. Also, let's see. Canada's still trending. People still arguing about the trade stuff, and who knows what. 20. Oh, here. Let's see. 2021. Biden drives a Jeep made by a foreign-owned Stellantis on White House grounds. Stellantis moved thousands of Dodge Chrysler Jeep jobs from Detroit to Canada. Spare me the outrage. Oh, we'll get to. It's going to get to the Tesla thing, which I'll get to. Oh, Canada, the new Prime Minister of Canada just moved to Canada in January. He holds 3 passports and describes himself as European. He's never run for office, and no one in Canada heard of him before he was installed as the Prime Minister. Weird. So they're talking about him still. This guy, so tell me how this democracy, our Prime Minister in Canada was just elected by 151,000 people. We have 41 million people in Canada, meaning that 0.037% of the population got to choose our next Prime Minister. Nailed it. Yeah, they complain about Trump. Oh, well, only 77,000 or 77 million people voted for Trump. He didn't really win the election, blah, 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 blah. Hey, try that shit in Canada. So, by the way, thank you, Avocados Diablo, another sponsorship of the show. Appreciate you. Saying, damn, she has a 12-year-old at that age. That kid must be retarded as always the politically correct Avocados Diablo. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. The term Mr. McBride is trending. I personally don't know how I feel about this, but Sarah McBride, the transgender woman legislator from the state of wherever the fuck she's from, or he's from, or it's from, or whatever, there's been an uproar because the Republicans keep addressing this person as Mr. McBride. And I get it. I'm torn on this because clearly this person is a male human being, and the Republicans doing this is just to stick it in their eye. And I'll give you a couple reactions to this, but here's what happened. Because apparently all hell broke loose this time. Someone started yelling or something. We'll see what happens.
As the representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ranking Member Keating, also wonderful.
Mr. Chairman, could you repeat your introduction again, please?
Yes. It's
so he went. This congressperson, went back by calling the chairman Madam Chair. Did you catch that? And then, so I should be laughing, but whatever.
We have set the standard on the floor of the House, and I'm simply.
What is that standard, Mr. Chairman? Would you repeat what you just said when you introduced a duly elected representative from the United States of America? Please.
I will. The representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Mr. Chairman, you are out of order. Mr. Chairman, have you no decency? I've come to know you a little bit, but this is not decent.
We will continue this
You
hearing.
will not continue it with me unless you introduce a duly elected representative the right way.
Why don't they just say, look, they don't have to get in this fight about this. All they have to say is representing Congressperson McBride. You don't have to call that person, the congressperson, she or he, and just, because obviously this is, as much as I understand what the Republicans are doing, anatomically correct pronouns, right? However, it's an unnecessary fight, and it kind of makes Republicans look petty too. I would just say, represent Congressperson McBride. This is a silly fight to me.
This hearing is adjourned.
Okay, bye. Oh, he said him. Yes.
I now recognize the representative. This
is compelled speech. Yeah, it kind of is. It really is. You know what? I I'm not gonna call that person Mr. McBride or Mrs. McBride or whatever they want. What do they want to call the congressperson? So here it is. Republicans are not letting up on addressing Sarah McBride as Mr. McBride, nor should they. This is Rob Smith, who is gay, by the way, just incidentally. Mr. McBride was supposed to strut into D.C. as a trans icon, but the timing couldn't have been worse. America's is done with the delusion. Yes, we are. Let's see. Representative Sarah McBride gets correctly introduced as Mr. McBride during a hearing. The Democrat ranking member loses his mind. Sarah is a man pretending to be a woman. He can change his name to whatever he wants, but he can't change his chromosomes. I'd love to hear y'all opinion. Avocado Diablo, dude really needed shit, and he knew saying Mr. McBride would get a recess. Maybe. Called Mr. McBride since that was what he was born at is Mr. You know what? I'm not arguing that point at all. Absolutely. This is a man pretending to be a woman. For whatever reasons. Now, House committee erupts after Senate Representative Keith Self calls transgender Representative Sarah McBride Mr. McBride, triggering a fierce backlash from Representative Bill Keating. So, yeah, that's the new thing to talk about. And what's funny here is ABC's reporting on this. Representative Sarah McBride, the first transgender person elected to Congress, continues to face attacks from her Republican colleagues, ABC News, who have repeatedly misgendered her on the House floor and in the committee hearings. Well, look, here's what I say to that. In my dialect of the English language, I refer to male adult humans as Mr. or Master if they're younger than a certain age. And did you know that? I didn't know that. I remember used to getting letters addressed to Master, Master, Marty, me. And I was like, what does that mean? Oh, because apparently that's what you call younger kids. Anyway, what was my point here? Oh, attacks, that's fascinating. Seriously, if you can accept yourself for who you are, then why should we? That too. And the other part too is, why would the people of Delaware elect? Well, certainly this election of this congressperson is certainly virtue signaling. I mean, why would you? I don't want to call Sarah McBride a mental patient, but certainly there's something wrong with this person. That they have the delusion that there's something they're not. And I want to feel sympathy and empathy. I'm not empathy, sympathy for them. But then I also don't want to be forced to, like you said, compelled speech. My point was that in my dialect of the English language, male human beings are Mr. and female human beings are Miss or Mrs. That's my dialect of the English language. Now, if you want to use the English language in a way that's different from the way I use the English language, I don't care if you do that. But I don't expect you to make me say y'all if I'm from North Dakota if you're from the South. Or if I'm in the South and I'm from North Dakota, I don't expect you to say you guys to make me feel better about the way I use the language. So, Tyre's answer here, I have no more fucks to give. Yeah, I just don't. I don't care. So, to be polite, sometimes I will alter my language to not use pronouns at all. But I'm not going to change my dialect to please you or to make you feel better about your delusions. That's where I'm at on this. So there you go. My lightning round's going a lot longer than expected. But ABC News, then this meme, well, she's a guy, so anyway, all right, moving on. Tesla's trending because, first of all, people are still vandalizing Teslas all over the country. Reminder, the left said climate change was so important that they should be able to rip out all your gas appliances, ban your gas vehicle, tax you into oblivion, but now they're torching Tesla as the most popular electric vehicle in the country. And also because apparently Donald Trump had he had some Teslas at the White House the other day, American-made cars. And so this is why this Biden clip was interesting. 2021, Biden drives a Jeep made by the foreign-owned Stellantis on White House grounds. Stellantis moved thousands of Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep jobs from Detroit to Canada. Spare me the outrage of Trump purchasing an American-owned vehicle, American-made Tesla, because apparently Donald Trump doing a Tesla infomercial for Elon Musk, his biggest political donor, in front of the White House. He bought a Tesla. Here's Donald Trump. And people are mad about this because he bought an American-made electric vehicle with very low emissions, as in zero.
So all these cars won incredible awards. So they're great cars and they're American-made. And I think, try it. You'll like it.
And I should say, beyond the cars, they're great. But we have to celebrate somebody that has the courage to do this. He could have said, I'm not doing anything. I'm not going to get involved. Let the country go to hell. He didn't want to do that. And remember,
I didn't realize Elon Musk was so tall. He is very tall I didn't realize that.
He's going to find, and we're up to almost $500 billion worth of waste and fraud. And if it was $500 billion, we give him $2 billion here, $2 billion, and not millions. It was a bet. If it was $1 million or $2 million, that's a lot of money.
Anyway, point is, a lot of people are mad that Donald Trump had the audacity to talk about American-made vehicles in front of the White House. Anyway, Glenn Beck, anyone who's burning a Tesla to protest Elon Musk's politics, you're a terrorist. If you're trying to get people to disassociate with Trump out of fear of you, that's terrorism. I hope to God that we arrest you for it. The only thing I would say, Donald Trump said something, posted something on Truth about, what did he say? Something about illegal protest of Tesla. I don't give a shit if people protest Teslas. I don't care about that. But what I do say is if you're out vandalizing people's cars or vandalizing dealers or whatever, that's illegal. That's definitely illegal. So stop that bullshit. Let's see. And then here it is. Now, this guy is not very happy about it. I think regardless of your politics, you have to admit this is a disgusting use of the presidency. Yeah, except when Biden did it for Jeep and he drove a Jeep around. In theory, I think he was in a driver training car and someone else was actually driving it, but whatever. Department of Education is trending. We'll get to this more tomorrow, but Trump seems to have determined that we are going to get rid of the Department of Education. Apparently half of Department of Education jobs have already been eliminated. Someone here says gas prices reached lowest prices since 2021. Egg prices are decreasing. Inflation down to 1.8%. It's 2.8. Ontario Folds drops their 25% charge on electricity. Nearly half of the Department of Education is expected to be eliminated. I voted for this. Did you? But the Krasnodars are very upset. Breaking, while boasting on Fox News about her efforts to dismantle the Department of Education, Linda McMahon couldn't even explain what IDEA, Individuals with Disability Act, is. Lord, give me strength. I'm sure that she couldn't do that. I'm sure she couldn't. I'm sure. Does she know it exactly? Who knows? All right. And then I got a bunch of articles open, but I'm not going to get to them. But I do have the aggregator open and several articles that for your viewing pleasure, a lot of good ones. I'll just give you some headlines. Let's do the headlines, and I'll get out of here. I'm running late, but that's okay. Expert witness: Democrats open the border because they can't win elections with only American votes. So apparently, during this large wave of people coming across our border illegally, somebody down there was handing out flyers telling people coming across the border to vote for Joe Biden. Oh my God. Where is it? Separate the White House themselves when they tried the federal takeover of the elections via executive order. They invited a lot of these nonprofits and partner organizations. They basically advised we don't need to do anything to warn illegals not to vote whatsoever. They didn't want to warn them not to vote illegally. They kept the system wide open because they were relying on those very votes. That's why they opened the border in the first place. They can't win with only American votes. They needed to import a new population dependent on government and fundamentally change the United States. I guess that was well, that's what Mike Howell said. He's from the Heritage Foundation. But anyway, other headlines: lone far left Democrat votes against bill aimed at monitoring drug cartel smuggling tunnels under the U.S. So yesterday, Rashida Taliban was the only person in the entire House of Representatives to vote against this bill. It was the bill was, would require an annual report on cartel smuggling tunnels used to traffic drugs and people from Mexico into the United States. The U.S. House Representative passed the Subterranean Border Defense Act, known as H.R. 495, with an overwhelming majority on Monday, 402-1. Only Rashida Taliban voted against it. I'd love to hear her explanation. In Breitbart, 12 states joined ICE's national deportation campaign. Several states have publicly stated that they will be cooperating with ICE on removing illegal aliens that should not be here in our country. New York Post, Michael Goodwin has an editorial about the Democrats defending anti-Israel agitator Mahmoud Khalil. And it says it's another example of how they and elite schools failed Jewish students. Again, if they're doing illegal activities, and this guy is part of that illegal activity, then he has violated his conditions for having a green card or having a student visa. So that's the part that I still don't have a clear thing on, although we've seen some examples of where you could certainly interpret that him caping for Hamas would be a violation of his green card. Daily Wire, Trump rips pro-Hamas protester for being deported. Get them the hell out. So that's his idea. Just get him the hell out. Again, protesting versus doing illegal activities that are a violation of your green card. I see those as two different things. Protesting, that's the American way. But if you're doing illegal shit or threatening people, then you need to get the fuck out, as Trump says. Same thing. We saw Mike Johnson's take on that earlier, so I won't do that. And then again, another one. In legal insurrection, Mahmoud Khalil is not a free speech issue. So this kind of goes through what some of those things are that can get him removed from having a green card. This is National Pulse. Apparently, the judge blocking the pro-Hamas student deportation is an Obama-linked son of Democrat mega donor. Shocker! You read about that. Daily Wire. Exposing the coordinated terror campaign against Elon Musk and Tesla, which obviously these all seem to be happening around the country around the same time. And Musk seems to think that some of these NGOs that have gotten money from the federal government have been able to organize some of this stuff. I'm going to make this so you can see the whole article, by the way. Because that is not archived. We'll give you an archived version. Oh, good God. I'm not a robot. I hate these things. Oh, thank goodness. It was archived before it goes. So you got the full article now in that link. Washington Free Beacon. Oh, Florida judge rejects Pulitzer Prize Board's attempt to delay the Trump Russiagate lawsuit. So Trump apparently has a defamation suit against the Pulitzer Prize Board for giving Pulitzer Prizes to the New York Times and the Washington Post for their Russiagate coverage. And apparently they were trying to get this postponed, but a judge rejected that. So they're going to proceed with this trial. So the trial is going to go forward. That's wild. In the Daily Wire, Douglas Murray wins a libel claim against The Guardian. You know who Douglas Murray is. He's a conservative author, and he won a libel claim against The Guardian, whose subsidiary The Observer ran an article last August that accused him of supporting violent racist attacks, which he does not, and he won that suit. So that's wild. Good for him. Legal insurrection. New York Times editorial board writers take new positions. We're told to take, the New York Times has told its editorial board writers to either take new positions or accept a buyout. The big papers are losing people left and right. Left and right. Less cowbell. We're still running, right? The show's still going, or is it dead? No, it looks like we're still here. Oh, no, are we not live? Did the show die? Oh, no, we're still good. What's going on? All right, still excellent connection. That was weird. I don't know why that happened. All right. Just no one's in the chat. No one's doing anything in the chat. All right, and then there's a couple other articles, but I got to be done. Still live. Okay. I get nervous when I don't see the chat doing anything. All right. That's it though. Let me get these links into the in the chat and the description, and we'll get the hell out of here. I don't know why everything's working so slow here these days. I might have to just restart the computer. Anyway, there we go. Good. There we go. All right. Copy. All right. So here's today's links in the chat. And I'll drop them in the description as always. That's it. I got to go. We'll be back tomorrow, FTG Thursday, and who knows? Maybe we'll have some more stuff that people send me. Send me anything, short videos that you want me to react to, or if you want to send memes, I'll throw some memes in the mix, and we'll have a great day. But until then, I got to go. My name is P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Have a lovely day, kitties. P-Dog Night, and thanks for watching today on the P-Dog Night channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.